What's up, family? First and foremost, I would like to pay my respect to all the brothers who made it out the gutter from the penitentiary. One love. This video that I'm about to expound from my perspective of prison life. This video is not to contest or repute or discredit anybody's credibility. I'm just gonna tell it how I see it. Raw, uncut. A couple of days ago, I came across this YouTube channel, and the host was asking the guest. I guess that brother, the Asian brother, is an ex-convict. I think they deported his ass back to the countries of his birth. So, like every ex-convict story, it's kind of similar. But what he say something that caught my attention. He said when he was in prison, he had to fight every day. I don't know if that's true or not, man, but when I was in prison, nobody fight every day. I mean, if you at war, right? If you at war, then yeah. Even people at war, factions or gang at war, there's gonna be peacetime. And it's gonna be wartime. Especially, I'm gonna speak about the Asian. Unless you come from the background of street gang that y'all hella deep up in prison. And there's another street Asian gang that y'all beefing with from the streets to the penitentiary. Then I can see that y'all gotta fight every day. But even so, it's gonna be peacetime. See, a lot of this prison YouTube channel, it seemed like y'all kind of exaggerate, putting a 9 on a 4, putting a 9 on a 5, because if you was to be fighting every day, it's hard to get out of prison. You got to max out your time. Let's say that if the judge give you 10 years, right? If the judge gives you 10 years and you got to do, let's say you do half time or 85%, 95%, whatever the time is. And if you fight every day, you're going to max out. You're going to do 100% of your time. You might even get caught into another case. From my experience, right? From my experience, people tend to want to mess around with weak people. If you are a strong individual, you are a lion walking through the valley of death. You keep your head on your shoulder. You hold your own. You stand by what you say and what you do. People can see it through you. People can see you. You see, from the street to the penitentiary, the natural order of life, the natural orders of Mother Nature is like the strong seem to fuck with the weak. That's it is. That's the natural orders of structure. If you's a weakling, then they tend to want to mess with you. So, I don't know about a motherfucker got to fight every day in prison. I mean, there's going to be time where you going to have to get down, right? And there's time where you ain't got to get down. You know, small incident. Small incident, people tend not to make it big. Especially those that with authority, those that are hardliner. If you run in a pack of car, see, when you go to prison, right, especially us Asian, you go into the other car, the Asian car, we ride together. We ride together. So, I don't know about fighting every day. So who you fighting with every day? I don't get this. I know you're not fighting with the blacks every day because it's a lose-lose situation. You might win the battle, but you're going to lose the war. That's how it is. But even the blacks as Asian, we can come together. The OG, the big homie, those who have strikes and bars, they don't want no conflicts, man. People doing time don't want no conflicts. Bad enough, they already doing time behind wall, separate away from their loved one. They don't need to get into other people juvenile or garbage problem. So, like I said, if you was to be fighting every day, you can't, because as soon as you fight, you go into the hole. And you're going to spend some time in the hole and come back out. Once you come back out, the problem, the issues, most likely, they're going to talk about this and squash this shit. Unnecessary issue. Unnecessary problem. Small issue, they don't want to lead that shit into big war. So it's very hard to get into conflicts, man. See, people in prison, right? People in prison don't want to get... It's hard. It's very rare for them to get into a race riot. Black against white. White against Asian. Or black against Mexican. Once in a blue moon, shit might happen. They kicked it off. 1 or 2 rounds. After that, they gonna call it truth. Call it peace. You can't live in prison going to war every day, being locked down. If you lock down, everybody's suffering. Nobody want to be in lockdown for 11 months out the year, like High Desert. High Desert was shitty ass penitentiary, constantly locked down. Because people at war. When you at war with another set, another gang, or another race, it's very ugly. But, like I said, like myself, right? You kill yourself a man, respectful. People ain't gonna fuck with you, man. People know better. I mean, once in a blue moon, you might come across a motherfucker want to test your skill, want to see what you all about. Then you're going to have to handle your shit. But because, you're doing your prison time, you show love and respect, you play by the rule, you don't disrespect nobody, people ain't going to come around and fuck with you. Even if, let's say, hypothetical speaking, another race want to push up on you because they got a deeper car. Well, you know, there's going to be another car that's going to look out for you. They're going to be like, hold up, man. You know what I'm saying? What y'all going to do to them is wrong. Y'all can't do that. The politics in prison tend to play politics itself. A lot of brothers in prison just want to do their time. They don't want to play prison politic. If they do play prison politic, they want to keep everybody safe. They play by the rule to keep everybody safe, make sure that everybody come home in one piece. That's it. Now, as far as Asian on Asian, I ain't seen that shit since YA day. I haven't seen Asian against Asian since YA. Now, in YA, yeah, reasonable, believable, on site, on and cracking. Shit is what it is. But in prison, in state penitentiary, we run by the different rules and regulation. If you come into prison with that, fuck your enemy, okay. You could, I mean, you know what I'm saying? You have the right to say, fuck him. You have the right to have your opinion, but keep your opinion to yourself. Because if your opinion get heard, it might not be good. Because we bound by the next brother. You could be the hardest Asian street gang. You go on there, you got to play by the politics, by hardliner. I'm talking about cats that ain't got none to lose. Cats that doing all day, 7 days a week, for life. Hardliner. And they ain't gonna play that shit. You go to prison talking about, yeah, I'm this and that. Unless you got bars and stripes, unless your credential got credibility, you bound to get stripped. But like I said, a lot of us Asian, we go to the gutter, we go do our time. You know, we ain't seeking trouble. We done fucked up, made a mistake. Whatever we did on the streets got us caught up and went to the penitentiary. We tend to just want to do our time. Respect each other, love each other. You do your time, I do my time. And help each other get the hell out of this dungeon. That's what it is. Whatever issue you think you might have with me on the streets, that shit is, we done hung that shit out, hung that by the door. We done hung that shit, that door at the county jail, we done hung that shit right there. We going into the whole new different world, planet, realm. We done go into a whole new different planet. We living among ghosts and goblins and demons, vultures and hyenas. And if you think you can ride solo, you're bound to drown on this river for death. Rivers of fire, mud, quicksand. You step on quicksand and you're going to sink. And you ain't going to have no brother holding your hand to pull you up. But like I said, a lot of us Asian, we carry ourselves properly. So we don't get into garbage. We don't get into trouble. We don't get into issue. We don't get into, we don't get into that knick-knack. Knick-knack bullshit. No. And if you carry yourself properly, respectfully, people gonna respect you. They're going to show you love. And you're going to do your time peacefully. Unless otherwise. You know, once in a blue moon, a brother, you know what I'm saying, one Asian brother might get caught up playing gambling and shit. And then even gamblings and shit, they going to have to look at who's right and wrong. If, you know what I'm saying, if one of your homie, one of the cats in your car owe somebody money and he don't pay, then you going to have to rack his ass up. Roll him up. But we're going to have to pay the debt. Vice versa. You know, people in prison, right? They don't want to kick off no riots. Unnecessary bullshit. Unnecessary riots. So, like I said, myself, you know, I got into some fight before. You know. Like I said, this is one time I got caught up with this brother, right? We was in the kitchen. We got into some heated argument. So we went at it. So he fucking swung at me, right? He took the first shot at me. I'm like this. It came right next to him. So I saw this motherfucker got a shank in his hand. He got a shank. So I'm like, fuck, I grab a pen. One of them tray pen. So I was gonna bust that fool in the head, right? You know what I'm saying? This big old dude from Bounty Hunter Blood. He stepped in, right? He said, what you doing, man? You know what I'm saying? You gotta put that shit down, right? So now, I'm like, look at his hand, man. He got a weapon. So, you know what I'm saying? That fool, he trying to hide that shit. So anyway, that OG from Bounty Hunter looked at his hand, saw that he got a, you know, he got a shank. So took his shank away. So me and that brother went at it. You know, I got the best out of him. So anyway, he done turned that shit into a race thing. Black against Asian. He's saying I didn't like black. I was dissing black. Whoo, he done turned that shit into a race war. So anyway, the next day come around, man, you can see the tension on the yard. You see in prison, right? When some shit about to go down, you can see the atmosphere, the tension. Everybody, nobody ain't playing basketball. Motherfuckers, just stop. People posted. You at your corner, I'm at my corner. People back against the wall. Everybody. Especially those who pay attention to politics, prison politics. Everybody, man, the whole yard, man, you can see it. You can smell that shit in mid-air. Some shit about to go down. So anyway, those two cats rolled up to me, right? One cat, he's from Nation Islam. Cool ass brother, man. I forgot his name. Another cat, right? He from BGF. Black Guerrilla Family. That brother been down for a long ass time. You know. But the guy, you know what I'm saying, the cat from Nation Islam, I know him and his other older homie named Peru. That's the cat I know, Peru. Oh, Peru, man. See, Peru, me and Peru work up in PIA together. We cool as fuck. You know. Me and that brother, we chop it up about some real shit. So anyway, they came, they asked me, right, you know, the brother from Nation Islam, like, hey, Ray, man, so what's going on, man? What's up, man? So I like, what you mean? You know, what's up with that other cat y'all had to fight yesterday? So I was like, man, I was cleaning and shit. He didn't like the way I clean. He trying to boss me around. And we got into it. He pulled a knife on me. So the cat from the Nation Islam, like, he pulled a knife on you? Man, he's telling me, hey, Ray, don't be lying, man. I said, yeah, man. He pulled a knife on me. So, see, now I'm accusing one of their Muslim brothers of having a knife. Because he didn't tell them that he had a knife. I said, man, if y'all don't believe me, man, call that brother from, you know what I'm saying, that OG cast from Bounty Hunter Blood. He was right there. He was the one that took the knife away from his hand. So they called that brother, came and said, yeah, Ray's right. You know what I'm saying? He got a knife. You know what I'm saying? Your homie got a knife, and I took that shit away from him. So bam, soon as that shit, the brother from Nation Islam and that brother from BGF shook my hand, and they said, we got this, man. Don't worry about that shit. This cool, man. That's squash, done. They went back and disciplined that fool. 80 laps on the yard. 80 laps. See? This is the type of shit I'm talking about. Prison politics got its own politics. We rule, we know what I'm saying? We play by politics. You can't escape that shit. If you play your shit right, motherfuckers ain't gonna fuck with you. You might get into a squabble and shit, you know what I'm saying? It's a squash, done, dada. Let it go, bam. But like I said, back to what I'm saying, man, is that, you know, a lot of brothers come out from the penitentiary. Sometimes they seem to exaggerate, thinking that they ain't got other brothers that been to the penitentiary. You know, so they gonna tell their side of the story like, shit, man, the penitentiary's like hell. Well, it can be held if you know what I'm saying? It can be held if you don't know how to walk through the valley of hell, the valley of death. There's gonna be hyena, roaches, goblins, and beasts, maggots and flies coming around, right? But pay no mind. And then, like I said, from my experience, we Asian don't fight every day in there. There's nobody to fight with. But anyway, one love, man. Have a nice day.